Hey, it's me, Bobbert, and welcome to my show. Now, since Sega has declared 2014 the year of Sonic, I feel that this is the perfect opportunity to review as many Sonic games I can. To be honest, I don't know how many Sonic games I'm going to review, but I make sure to review as many Sonic games I can, from the oldest to the most recent. Now, the game I'm going to start with is probably the weirdest choice to begin with, considering it's on the Sonic Gem Collection for the GameCube. The first game I'm going to review is Sonic R, a game that I kind of like and hate at the same time, and I'll explain why. And
Sonic R is pretty much developed by Sega and Travis Tell. Now, Travis Tell is pretty much famous for making the Mickey Iron series, and I think having a famous developer like that will end up making one of the dream games that Sonic fans want, but it turns out to be a nightmare. And before we get right into the game, I just want to point out that there's a little Easter egg where you can move the R on the screen by moving the analog stick. Now, why am I bringing up this pointless Easter egg? Mainly to pretty much say this. Moving the R on the title screen is pretty much the only factual thing about this game. Keep that in mind. I'm mostly just going to talk about the gameplay since time travel is self-explanatory and you're not going to find another person to play this game with you. You start out with 4 characters at the beginning, with 6 to unlock, make it 10 total, and you start out with 4 stages, with 1 being unlocked, 5 total. Pretty short for a racing game, but considering this is probably one of the few 3D racing games, I can let it slide. The one compliment I can give to this game is how each character has their own special abilities. Like Sonic can be able to do a double jump. Amy Rowe has the ability to make her car float on top of water, plus she can accelerate for a few seconds and has to wait to recharge it to be able to use it again. Tails can fly up in the air momentarily. Knuckles got a similar ability, but his is more smoother and better to control. And Robotnik can shoot missiles when he collects 10 rings on the field, plus he can hover on water. The rest of the unlockable characters pretty much got similar abilities to their respective counterpart like Metal Sonic, Mega Knuckles, and the Tail Star. And that's pretty much it about the characters. Now let's talk about the gameplay itself. The controls are really messed up in this game. Let's start with the how you control your character. You move up on the analog stick to move forward, and unfortunately there's not really any proper brake. So if you want to slow down, you pretty much have to come to a complete stop by holding back on the control stick. Now doing this causes a big problem if you need to turn around, because once you're on a complete stop and need to turn around, your character moves slow, and it's really hard to get back in the race. Now to go back on the characters, I mentioned earlier that each character's got their own special ability, and although it's a pretty good idea on paper, it's badly executed in this game. I heard of unbalanced characters in fighting games, but unbalanced characters in racing games, that's a new one to me. Some characters, especially depending on the track you're on, are either overpowered or pretty much useless. Take Amy Rose for example. Sure, she may be able to float on water, but so does every other character, and she's able to go faster without wasting any rings like the other characters. But there's pretty much a speed track for everybody else, and depending on which characters you're facing, say Knuckles for example, who has the abilities to glide and skip over a pretty huge amount of the track, Amy Rose is pretty much the weakest character in this game. And well, yeah, let's talk about the 5 locations. Well, 4 mainly. Now, in the first 4 racetrack, you can take different routes to either find the shortest way for your character to win the race, or to pretty much explore around the tracks and collecting coins and chaos emeralds. More on that a little bit later. Which, about these different routes for the stages, I feel like it's a good idea in paper, but yet again, the execution is poorly thought out. But to be a bit fair, I don't think it's really more of the level designs, although the negative thing I have to say about the tracks is the music selections, which doesn't fit the racetracks, although some people can argue that the music is pretty good on their own, and I kind of agree to a certain extent, but this music doesn't fit for a racing game at all. And the second complaint about the racetrack is the graphics. Not really if it's, powerful for a Sega Saturn, because I haven't played that many Saturn games to make that comparison, but way more of the designs, mainly because of the city. I don't know, I just don't like the color selection for each of them, and pretty much the city looks like it's halfway done. But then again, I think that was kind of intentional, so players can be able to take shortcuts if possible. Over there, you really can't. But anyways, the racetrack, again, another missed opportunity that it made this game unique, and I appreciate Sega for trying, but I don't know, if Sega wasn't able to pull that off, then I think they should have gone to a simple route and just make it another kart racer. I mean, yeah, it's unoriginal, but it'd be more playable. In this game, you also need to collect coins and chaos emeralds to unlock characters and one stage. Now, the coins, there's 5 in each racetracks, and you must collect all 5 of them and win the race in 3rd place or higher to be able to unlock that character. But before you do that, you must beat that character in the race. If you lose, you gotta do the coin challenge all over again. As for Chaos Emeralds, you need to collect 7 of them to unlock a hidden stage and Supersonic. Now, there's 1 in the first racetrack and 2 in the other 3 racetracks, and you must finish in first place to keep that Chaos Emerald, or else you have to try again. Now, for the tracks that has multiple Chaos Emeralds, you can get 1 at a time and go for the other one in another race, so there's not too much pressure into that. Now for my final thoughts on this game. It's a pretty bad game, you already know that. You can tell by just looking at it, hopefully. But if it's a terrible game, then why do I like it? Well, I like it in the same way people like very bad movies so bad it's good. But I also like it because it kind of challenges me as a gamer to be able to beat the game, and the game is pretty much going against you by not having proper controls or any good level design. I don't know, it's like a challenge to myself. I like trying out games that people say are bad and see if I could be able to beat it. And it also gives me the right to say this is a bad game, even though the same person who probably never played this game could say it's a bad game and he'll be right. But I always like to try these bad games and just see for myself. Of course, I don't recommend this game, but I guess if you're kind of like me who kind of enjoy these bad games for an ironic reason, or like to play these bad games just to test out your skills, I say give it a try, but preferably get the Sonic Dream Collection on the GameCube. Mostly because there's other good games on there like Sonic CD and Vectorman 1 and 2. That all the other Sonic games pretty much sucks on there for the most part. Don't know why they call it a gem collection, but anyways, Sonic R, so bad, but I just can't hate it. This is me, Bobbert33, and tune in for my next Sonic game review in a couple of weeks. Take care.